Yes. Well, we're all here.
We are.
I read through this stuff. I didn't really see anything. Of course, we haven't made any changes really. Well, what do you guys want to go one by one?
Could we, please?
Yep. So the charter,
I read through it yesterday too. I didn't really see anything. There's a couple things that I wanna talk about. But I didn't see anything that really pops out was like anything we need to change, right?
I had mine color coded. There is something maybe I want to talk about.
all right.
Well, let me see. Let me look at your first page. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so, oh, that's what it is, because I printed back and forth when I got mine. Yes, yes, all right.
All right.
So, with the update, we'll of course make the necessary update to the committee members that are on here,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay,
Yes, are you referring to the first
Yeah,
section? So
very first section,
I
yeah.
thought about that myself.
Uh-huh,
And what it specifically says in there is that that the committee at those times had amended and adopted it as of that date. So the last amended and adopted charter was by Mr. Ryan Flesh from Mosquito and Mr. Lattimore back in February 2018.
okay,
we're gonna-
so if there is no material changes to like the charter, then that will stay the same.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
I might suggest actually just taking the committee members out of the charter, and then you never have to talk about it again.
Oh,
Bad idea.
yeah, okay.
Wonder who put
Up
that
to
in
you.
there at 2018.
It would have been me.
Feels like forever ago.
All right.
Well, we need to leave the updates.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, the update times,
All right.
effective. I highlighted things like keeping the board informed, you know, because under the purpose where it says, keeping the agency informed of current best practices. Are we, because since I've been on the board, I feel like it just has been a consensus that, yeah, nothing has changed, but do we have any sort of, like, how do we usually determine if like best practices, what is the current best practice? You know, because like with what I do, we know that things change. And as we evolve and you know how things go, then there is a time frame that we kind of just look at the existing, like we're doing now. But is there anything that says maybe we've had some changes to how?
Yeah, so what I would recommend about keeping the board informed and specifically that committee is part of your board member training that you can do annually, and we do have a cadence of what the board recommends to be done on a periodic basis. There's a lot to be gained from that, as there's any updates to state oversight policy and everything else that goes into that.
Yes, that's good. And you see,
And we had made some. And actually, a lot of it, at your suggestion, we have made some changes to the documents.
Very minimal over the
Very
years.
minimal.
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
Super minimum. And you know what the other thing is? I know those ABO trainings,
Yeah.
you're required to do it like when you just, you know, you're on the board and it lasts for like 3 years. Is that right, Michael? What is the time frame before you have to redo it? Before there's a requirement to get it?
Right, my knowledge, and good thing Tracy's here to keep me on my toes, is that per the IDA's policy is that board members need to have training done at minimum every 4 years.
Okay, 4 years and not 3.
So, I would like to know, because I've been wondering this for a while, who is not trained right now? Who's expired? Who needs it?
Okay, those who are up to date on their training is Mr. Lockwood, Ms. Adams, and Ms. Spino.
Okay, so everyone else has not
Not to my knowledge,
taken it in at least 4 years.
not to my knowledge.
So
So-
I think that's a concern.
I would agree with you, and I think that's why we're discussing it, right? So that would be something we'd have to bring forward as part of our discussion.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. That's a great point.
But
Going
it
down,
maybe doesn't go into this charter though.
I know it, but it's gonna be part of our governance
No.
responsibility. Yes, it's gonna be part of our responsibility. So good, powers of the governance committee meet with and obtain information that require. And may be required for agency staff, obtain advice and assistance in-house outside counsel. Okay, okay, all right, I'm fine with that one. So
Alright.
here, number two, yes. Governance, under governance as well on the area, I think it's right about where it says committee structure and meeting. And some of the particulars, that is on here specifically says, in addition, governance committee members shall not engage in any private business transaction and stuff like that. Policies that we have, I wanted to better understand like that bit. Governance committee shall consist of at least 3 independent members and define authority 25 da, 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 da. I am here where it's,
From Act of 2005.
yeah, yes,
No, okay.
private compensation entity and has material business relationship with agencies. Is it then implying that note is for all of us as board members or our committee members as well? Or specific to the governance committee? Do you see what I'm reading?
It's a good question. But I think that's too why we get those annual things from the
Conflict
county.
of interest.
That we fill out.
We fill out,
The
I think
conflict
that,
of
yeah,
interest.
so I think that applies to everyone,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
That's good. Hmm,
Mhm.
okay. I feel like, I wanna probably come back to that, but I'm not gonna hold this up because I know 30 minutes whips by really fast.
Yes.
So, all right. Going down, we have under responsibilities, okay.
I have a question on the responsibilities.
Okay.
Examine ethical and conflicts of interest. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah.
Is that an open question? to
Yes,
me?
it is.
Okay, so I think everyone who's been within their own private areas of work is that, you know, there is a direct conflict of interest. If I'm leveraging the information I have as your director to make investments or inquiries that I know are going to be of my benefit, that's an incredible conflict of interest. The board is in the same position as you're also privy to sensitive information from time to time. And at the same context, the ethical considerations are also there, even if there's the appearance of an ethical conflict of interest, that this may not be a project that I'm satisfied with because I have a relative who has a detrimental
No,
impact as a
like-
result here.
If you own a paper company
Mhm,
and then the IDA bought from your company, that
Right,
would be a
right.
conflict.
exactly.
But I think a lot of us are involved in businesses and. You can't exclude everybody.
So, and I think the board does a good job
Mhm.
of this and it certainly needs to be examined as anything comes up. Or any project or procurement that says I have an indirect or direct relationship with this company. I need to abstain or remove myself from this conversation. And it's necessary to bring in our counsel to say, what further steps do we have to employ here to ensure the integrity of the board?
Right,
I'd like to just add on to that. So, I would think at that, if there was anything similar to that, it would be run through you as our executive director as well. So instead of anyone doing something on their own, we should really be running things through you, correct?
Yes,
That
so,
would be a good way of saying, you
right,
know,
because part of what you have charged me with is overseeing the operations of
Right,
agency, so I have the purview of all these different things, say, okay, if we did this, will that impact something
Right.
over here? And
Right.
obviously, I rely on our attorney.
so having you
as necessary.
involved in each process of those things are important.
I would say yes.
And so as it pertains to us looking from a governance committee standpoint and this subcategory that is specific to responsibilities, so as the governance committee, some of the things I think we have, well, I wouldn't say oversight, but the responsibility says evaluation of the agency bylaws, which we're doing, examine ethical and conflict of interest. So I feel like we too. How will that apply to the committee? Is it just that we have the policy and we review it, or is there something that needs to be presented to us for
If
conversations?
there was a conflict.
If there was a conflict of interest, or if there could be a perceived conflict of interest.
Right.
And also too, here's the thing, conflict of interest, I probably need to tease that out a little more because I think that, I think the common knowledge of it would be like, I sit on this board and just like Gina, I am in real estate, right? So if there was an opportunity for me to benefit financially from something that involves the IDA, to me, that's clear conflict of interest. But how about things that I may not monetarily benefit from, meaning I could sit on another board where we discuss things here and I am on another board, and then I can use the info that I'm privy to then affect and influence how my other position works. What about that type of conflict of interest, or is that out of the equation?
I think it's a really good item to bring up. It would have to be well examined to say, is this in the mutual interest of both parties here, or am I leveraging information from one board I sit on to the direct benefit of another one? So there's not a clear mutual of interest.
Well, one would hope the boards are all working together to the same end.
No, I'm just trying to understand the term conflict of interest. Is it just solely about compensation, or the scenario that I presented, can that be also considered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's another.
That falls into the fiduciary duty. The fiduciary duty says, when I'm in this room representing the CCIDA, I am representing the best interests of the CCIDA, not the interests of another board, not the interests of my employer, not the interests of my brother.
Right.
I am representing the best interests of CCIDA. So what you're describing there is really under the fiduciary duty.
Mhm.
And so that kind of falls in that ethical and fiduciary realm, as opposed to conflict of interest, which
Okay.
is more or less specifically compensation based.
Okay.
And then there's, a difference between what you need to disclose versus what you need to abstain from, so
As it pertains.
as it pertains to conflict.
I think that there is some benefit for us to probably as a whole, like revisit things like that with the board, because I feel like we are always in go mode and there's so much that everybody's involved with and trying to manage, that sometimes these little things, we take it for granted that people know, but you don't really know. But that was a great clarification there, Tracy, that you provided on those things. And I even think from a fiduciary responsibility standpoint, probably just revisiting how it's defined for everyone might be, advantageous. Do you not agree?
I agree.
Yeah, what do you think, Andy?
Yeah, but I think, a lot of that's covered in the training.
Well, but everybody hasn't taken the training. over 4
Exactly,
years.
over 4 years, so there's lots of things that people could, it would be worthwhile to say, hey, I know, but here.
The
Here's a little
other
bit
thing I would just say is like, are we solving problems that don't exist? I haven't seen a lot of conflict of interest.
Um,
And it's just like with the lease deal. You recuse yourself from the discussion, didn't vote on it.
well, I think,
And I
that-
think
I
that
think the
was-
office space is a good example of me, and I'm not sure, Donna, what you're feeling underneath all of this. But I do feel that was a conflict, and I'm not talking about the real estate part of it. I'm talking about the communication amongst everybody. And decisions like really being made before it even came to the board.
Yeah, and so I don't know, I've not really gotten information. As a matter of fact, it- I think that that whole decision, I thought that even as a subcommittee meeting discussing what was going on, I didn't have any meetings to discuss it, so I feel like I'm in the dark on stuff. I just know that
Were
things
you
were
on the
brought forward.
subcommittee?
I was on the, am I not on the subcommittee? Did I get removed and didn't know?
For the
No,
office.
that subcommittee wasn't for, that was to talk about the partnership.
Oh, okay, all right, so,
I
well,
don't
then I
think there
don't
was an office subcommittee.
okay, all right, well then, yeah, well, I wasn't. I wasn't really part of it, so I don't know, I'm gonna.
All right,
Yeah,
we've
well,
got a
let's get back
lot,
to
lot
yeah,
more
yeah,
to do
yeah.
here.
I guess we can make a note of that then, Gina,
Yeah.
because it's a good topic. All right, number 3, page 3 of the first, again, the chart is,
Mhm.
we've got, I have it highlighted, please indulge me.
No problem.
Thank you. Develop the agency governance practice. I think we just spoke about fiduciary responsibility. I won't belabor that point then. Let's go on. Another thing I had highlighted, evaluation of policies written regarding code of ethics, affirmative policy. All right, I'm good on page 3. What about you? You know, page 3 is good. I did have a highlight on number 4. When was this last updated where it says review on an annual basis, the compensation and benefit of the senior agency official, annual review, assess and make necessary changes to the governance committee chart, and examine ethical. So the last time that all of this was done is 2018, as was noted on the top of the page. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably review it every year, it just, there might not be changes every year.
It just might not be, but then do you think that there's some benefit then in making a note that we have reviewed it every year? Because it seems from 2018 to now, you know, that's an extensive period
Well,
of time.
There's an annual resolution that states that.
Oh, the annual resolution,
It's in the.
that's why you're here, to give all of this good
Michael knows
information.
all that.
Thank you, all right, so that is it for me and Charter. Violet, do you have anything else? Okay. All right.
Bylaws,
Yeah, bylaws. Oh, of course, in section 3, it says office of the agency, and it still identifies 2 State Street on Auburn. So I would imagine, do we want to just remove it until we figure this out, or leave it until, yeah,
Well, my recommendation is to leave
Leave it
that. as
until.
We better establish a longer term space, and one of the nice things about this section. But the agency may have other offices at other such places, as the agency may from time to time designate by resolution, so.
Okay.
I think we should take it out.
Do
Yeah,
you?
that should be in the bylaws. The bylaws should include an address.
The address,
Yeah.
Okay,
all right,
thank you, look at that.
I'm usually all for taking things out.
When we're able to, and that flexibility exists.
No,
And
we
keep in
didn't.
mind, you
Yep.
won't do this until
I'm
December, so.
so that one, number 4,
I am just jumping on.
shall sign all contracts, deeds, and any of the, okay, I'm good here. Gina, what about you? I'm over at page 5.
Yeah, no, I'm good
One
with these.
year. Okay, good. Chairman agency, I'm good there. Drives. I am on page 8. Yep. Oh, you know, wait, just a second. Corporate governance principle advise the council on skills and, oh, this was a good one. I thought this was a really good one, team. So I'm so sorry. Governance committee, section 1. So I'm on page 8.
Yeah.
And it says, the agency hereby establishes and shall maintain a governance committee that shall keep the board informed of current and best governance practice, review corporate governance trends. Well, the thing that I highlighted, where it says update the agency, advise the council, examine. Oh, here it is. as the agency appointing entity on skills and experience required of potential board members. Do we do that?
There used to be a letter that went to the legislature every year.
Yes.
saying These are the kinds of things we're looking for, or we want in a board.
That hasn't gone out in the last year, but it did go out the previous year.
Really?
Yes,
Is that something that you have, Tracy? Because I know you're.
the county sent it, actually.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see, because I think that there's also another area in here somewhere that says that you wanna ensure like the experience of whomever you're appointing kind of benefits the agency. And so I'd be very interested in seeing what the particulars of that looks like. All right, that was my one on that one.
Is that, but do they do that just when there's a seat available?
Yes, otherwise it's just, a known board member who's rejoining by, an updated term.
Okay. But they do have it defined to say these types of skill set and experiences is what would align
Right.
nicely.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Right
high
there.
level form that says, who is this person, what's their address, what's their professional background,
Okay.
how does this,
Benefit them.
benefit the IDA at large.
That was the key thing, is the benefit to the agency. Very good, thank you. What about you, Andy? Do you have anything?
No, like I said, no, I read through it, everything looked good to me.
Okay, and I don't know what this is, so I highlighted it, and it's the section 3 where it says administrative policies. The agency shall establish policies regarding investment, travel, property acquisition, disposition, procurement, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure that you have all of that, but is that ever something you share with us? Because indemnification, being a person in insurance, I was like, I got to that area on the paperwork and it says like the board members need to be named. Is that something we do, or with the insurance, the,
Yeah, so you have insurance, both for the county and individual director and officers insurance that we procured last year, and that does cover all the board
and the
members.
board members are named on that? So in the event somebody, okay, there we go, thank you. Any questions on that?
No, very good question.
Let's see. Right. Code of ethics, of course, I had highlighted some things, but I think we talked through that because it's especially where it says conduct which will raise suspicion amongst the public that persons may be engaged in acts that are in violation of people's trust. So I had highlighted, but I think you kind of did it, both of you, like, you had done a great job of that, all right.
All right, so that's
That's that,
ethics,
yes, that's ethics.
compensation,
You want to go compensation, right, let me find compensation.
You probably would say this one. It's like 3 minutes long.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, I did. Okay. Let me see.
there you go.
Yeah,
Oh, you do have some,
I have all, but
You have all?
I printed back and front on the pages and then have them moved
that's a good
around.
way to save money.
That's right, and save trees, hello.
Yes,
All right, I don't have anything that I've highlighted on there.
Is,
yeah.
under the tax exempt policy guidelines is number 1 renewable energy projects, is that still current?
I'm sorry.
No, I think Gina went to this one, Gina's on the UTEP.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
Ed, my love, we're back here.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
It's okay, yeah, nothing there, okay, now we're moving on to
All right.
Gina's, yes.
What section, Gina?
There's not a page number, but it's, 1, renewable energy.
So Gina is here.
Right, so renewable energy. What was your question?
Is that current?
You know what this is missing is the small update the board approved last year.
Yeah.
This version does not contain that.
Should
Our,
we-
our copy on the website does contain the update that was approved by the committee and the board at large last year.
So that part, so should
Yes.
we maybe double check that, this whole section?
This was the only part renewable energy projects that was updated last year because we had made a adjustment to it. That further defines the assessment
Hmm.
for renewable projects.
So you already know that, Mike, you've
Yes.
read it, all of it?
Um,
The only thing that and it's just for my edification, wanted to better understand the mechanism we have in place, that is specific to recapture.
Hmm.
Have we ever also had an instance where we had done a recapture of benefits with anyone?
Not in my time, I don't believe during Tracy's, so I would be looking to John, Ray,
No.
Herb, of any client of IDAs that you've had to enact your clawback provisions.
Okay. No, you've not had an incident. And because I wanted to know if that was the case, how do we, how will we be notified? What is the process by which we would get notification? I see on here it says significant employment reduction. If there was a significant, how would you know that?
So you do that as part of our annual reporting that all of our clients are required to do. And in addition to that, is we also have periodic site visits. A good example of employment reduction that was permissive was a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. A number of our clients had a significant drop in employment. Some are back up to level or nearing back up to level. Others have had to reorganize their entire business to
Right, okay.
to address that.
Michael, did we not have a problem several years ago with the firm that run that thing on the way to the Nation Center?
We'll go down in time.
And have to be more definitive.
I have to be more precise.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
Yeah, but we've got 4 o'clock.
put on shows
Okay,
or
I know.
something
I'm-
every,
Prior to my time.
Policy.
Yeah.
Joey,
we're
make
done with
it-
that one.
Joey,
Um,
make
let
it
me
Joey.
see,
No, the one
the agency
on the way
for-
to there.
We just answered that.
They had a pilot with us
Should this
and
be
went
up
bad
there?
and we had to
Yep.
go through the.
Oh, this is lower.
Eliminate the pilot.
Prior to my time.
Oh,
That
the
would be
Renaissance
somebody-
Festival.
Renaissance.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did recapture
Yeah.
some money. from
Did we
that.
not do
And
that?
then-
Yes, it started before
We had to-
me.
Yeah, but
we-
Then,
We had the sheriff sees his.
yeah, I was there when the
There's
sheriff
no
went up.
time.
It wasn't benefits.
It wasn't benefit that we.
They owed us money.
Maybe Andy knows, Andy has.
Oh,
his
they
own-
They owed us money.
Oh, so it wasn't recapture, it was
That's
just like
okay.
payment of.
It wasn't-
Policy is
Past
if somebody
due
hits
He defaulted on the
something
pilot.
done,
What's that?
He
they
defaulted
become
on the
chief
pilot.
chair, Vice chairman.
But he owed us money. I think he actually owed us money. We weren't chasing him for piling. If it's like
Yeah.
Michael.
taxes or something, he owed us.
For,
Yeah.
like, we're
So maybe
looking
it
at our
wasn't
whistleblower policy,
I do
we're
remember
almost
that.
out of time,
Yeah.
which
It
of
was
the
like-
council
Oh, yeah.
identifies that we have
Recapture.
to, and
Oh,
it seems like
He paid real quick.
they
Good
do
days.
different things. So if we had
Those
something
are
like
good
that,
days.
it would be the
Your
appropriate,
first step is to go through your general counsel.
okay, and,
Then you would bring in your special counsel as needed.
okay, all right.
So really, we don't have any real updates to make. One thing we gotta do is the training's not being done.
It's not update, I think
I
that's a
think we
big
need to put a
one.
date on that.
Yes, I would agree with you, ma'am.
By the end of the years.
Yeah.
Middle of next year or
Nope,
something.
maybe end
No,
of
I
the
think it
year,
needs to be by the end of the year. It's not.
Training's an hour and a half. It can all be done online
right,
and it's free.
yeah,
The change address,
Yes.
leave that for
we'll leave that for now, yes, sir.
skill and expertise letter, you'll get us a copy of that. And we're missing an update on the UTP.
Yep, look at you, you're all over it.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Just in time.
We're done,
4 o'clock.
Michael.
4 o'clock, we did it.
We're very good. She'll just make a motion.
I'm missing someone.
Should I just make a
Okay.
motion?
Yes.